Gang, this is Boomer. Happy Juneteenth to everyone out there, especially brothers and sisters of color. I've always had a deep affection for people of color. I grew up I grew up here in the D.C. area, and of course was exposed to a lot of African American culture from an early age on. But also just a bit of personal information that you didn't ask for. But I'm of French Huguenot ancestry. That's French Huguenot, the forgotten tribe. And they were Protestants in France in the 1700s that were gathered up and sent away and sent out of the country for opposing the Roman Catholic Church. And we wound up, the Huguenots wound up all over Europe and eventually to America. And I don't know, maybe that's how I got my there's something genetic in there that lends itself to a feeling of empathy and sympathy for people who have had a rough time, uh, whether it's people of color or not. I've always had a soft spot for the underdog. And anyway, Juneteenth, can you imagine? It took 2 years for word of the Emancipation Proclamation to get from the eastern part of America to a little town called Galveston, Texas. And but it got there by the end of the Civil War. And following that, there was a great surge in rights, laws passed, rights established for African Americans in the South and the Deep South. Even there were even several congressional representatives, and if I'm not mistaken, a senator as well, maybe from Mississippi. But at any rate, that was very short-lived because white Americans quickly saw that they were being challenged. They couldn't have their way of life, lily white way of life, anymore, and they saw that African Americans were strong and resourceful and intelligent and very soulful and spiritual. And that scared the hell out of white people. So along came the Jim Crow era, nasty as it was, lasted oh gosh, almost 90 years, I guess, from the 1870s to the early 1960s or so. And that was all about separation of public facilities, bathrooms, water fountains, restaurants, schools, no integration. White people used to say, Southern white people especially used to say, I'm not a racist, but I am a segregationist. Well, I got news for you. 150 years later, or 100 years later, even just 70 years later, being a segregationist is you're a racist. Cracker, you're a racist. So anyway, happy Juneteenth to everyone. That's all for me now. I will be back later in the day with another video. And in the meantime, enjoy yourselves. Have a good time outside with family events and programs, and keep the faith, everyone. This is Boomer. This Boomer hits different.